Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our sister out of Cleveland, Ohio, Sis Khalis Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Well, alaikum salam, Brother Joshua. I would like to say that I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is his exalted Christ and Messiah, and that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the divine leader, teacher, and Messiah and guide in our midst. And I thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show today. How are you, Brother
I'm
Joshua?
doing, I'm I'm doing phenomenal, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, by Allah's mercy. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, the first question that we have for you, ma'am, is when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
I heard the teachings. It was in the early 90s.
Mm.
My journey was interesting. I came from a church like most of us do. It was not conducive to me. It was a lot of things that wasn't making sense. Turn the other cheek if they slap you, and love your enemies, and all those things. And so I said, I'm going to go on a 3-day fast and ask God, where am I supposed to be? And I
Mm.
had just relocated on the job that I'm working on. So I went to a different location. I don't know any of the people here. And on the third day of that fast, a brother came to me with he was asking me a series of questions. And those questions made so much sense to me. I said, this is, no, not too many people talk like this. And then the next day he brought me a book, Message to the Black Man. He told me it's FOI in the Nation of Islam. And I started reading that book, and I just was overwhelmed. I just could not believe this is me, this book, the words
Mm.
in this. So, and after that, he invited me to the mosque. I went like on a weekday, Wednesday or a Friday. And it was so beautiful and interesting. And so he asked me, would I come back Sunday? And so I went on a Sunday, and Minister Rowland was speaking in Mosque 18. And when I heard Minister Rowland, I said, this is where I am supposed to be. It just made so much sense. Like the veil came off my eyes. Everything was, I felt myself transitioning. It was very interesting transformation. So that's how that began. Make a long story short.
Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. All praises to Allah. Salute and shout out to Minister Rowland. What I wanted to ask you, ma'am, is how did your family and friends feel once you accepted the teachings?
Well, most of my family, I have a lot of relatives, cousins, and aunts and uncles. Most of them turned, away from me and thought something was wrong with me. They wanted to pray over me and all these type of things, and I'm saying no. But then there were some of the family members that embraced it, embraced me, and but I wasn't having it any other way. This is where I'm supposed to be, and whether they liked it or not. So I lost a lot of family members because of the Islam. But it's okay, because Allah said, I'll give you a new family. And he did that. The Nation of Islam, I gained sisters and brothers who were really my sisters and brothers. So the ones that I lost, I gained.
Beautiful. All praises to Allah. And thank you, Sister Khalis. And people are showing love all around the world. Sister Miriam says, Assalamu alaikum, family. And Sister Naeem says, Assalamu alaikum, family. Alaikum salam. Thank you all very much. And shout out to
Yes.
our YouTube family as well. Now, I wanted to ask you, first of all, thank you for everyone who remembers. Go back and watch what we did a couple months ago when I was um, flown to Cleveland, Ohio, and I got to work with you and the believers and the community. It was just such a powerful, life-changing experience for me to see the vision and how you all are working to bring that into reality. Can you let us know about that event and what's coming up next?
Yes, sir. Since that event, we've grown tremendously. It's just growing fast, and I really relish the idea of seeing Minister Rowland's vision unfold at a fast pace, the way it's doing. And see, when you were there, we were having our meetings at his bakery. We outgrew the bakery, and then we start going other places because more people have been coming in and coming in and coming in. So now we have our own office space, which is, has the capacity to hold a larger group. And we are constantly being invited to different venues. Brother Ed is doing free seminars on LLCs and financial literacy, and so all of this is just picking up, and it's moving so fast. I am very grateful and honored to be a part of this monumental event, because I look at it like how Sister Dr. Ava said. She said sound produces the vibrations that makes matter. And then I said, so we're constantly using these words, superior renaissance, superior renaissance. It's all of us that's saying this, and other people are saying, more people are coming in, and all those people are saying, it's almost like we're picking up matter and it's spinning around the sun at the rate of 1,037 miles per hour, and it's picking up more people and people. And it's just amazing. And I mean, this is what we're supposed to do. And that's why I think the people are so excited and interested. We got to get you back here in Cleveland again soon.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be my
Yes.
honor. It'll be my honor. I enjoyed myself, and I learned so much about the individuals who were putting together the event, but I also learned about the city. And
Oh, yeah.
as someone who was into acting and an actor like yourself, I learned about how they took me to downtown Cleveland and showed me how this was second only to Broadway in New York. And I didn't know the theater community was so big in Cleveland. I didn't understand. I didn't know. And to
Isn't that
see,
amazing?
yes, ma'am, it was just beautiful.
Yes. And Minister Rollins, like, he has such a gravitational pull on the people. It's like when they meet him, they just fall in love. And what he says is, all I'm doing is using the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So that's what he's giving them, and studying those teachings over 50 years every day, and surrounded by the images with the messenger, the minister, Sister Dr. Ava, Mother Tynette, and Brother Jabril. You can't help but become these people. So yeah, he has an impact on, wow. But we love you. And we really have to have you back here, because your energy, you're full of energy. I say, we love our brother. We'll be
So
putting,
I love
bringing.
you. I love you all more. It was so beautiful to be there. Now, Sis Khalis,
Yes, sir.
Brother Nelson Ramos says, "Assalamu alaikum, salam, Brother Nelson Ramos, beautiful Muslim family. Thank you, Brother Nelson, for always showing love." I wanted to ask you, ma'am. You said you've had some experiences with baby planes. Can you let us know
Oh,
about that?
oh yes. This was a long time ago. And where I used to live, as I was a child then, it was like in the early 70s. And where I lived, it was like this little valley. I'll call it a valley. And inside this valley was a baseball diamond, and there was a stairway to go down into the valley where the diamond was. And the place that I lived was called Garden Valley. And so one day, my friends, and well, I didn't mean to say one day. Well, anyway, we're on our way to the baseball diamond in this valley that we called the dump. We referred to it as the dump. And when we get to the sidewalk to cross the street, right where the valley is, this object came from wherever. It just came really fast. And we stopped in our tracks, mesmerized. It was close too, because it was over the valley. It was there, and it stopped and it hovered. It did something. It did this, at a slow pace. And then it went back from wherever it came. It didn't hear a sound. It was quiet. And when it left, we were still standing there. And I don't know which one of us, like, what was that? And we answered, I don't know. And before we could leave, it came back again. And when it came back, we turned around and ran, right? That was the most, I mean, I was afraid. I ran in the house, told my mother what I saw, and my friends, we saw this. And for some reason, she didn't believe me. It hurt my feelings. So then later on, she told me, I'm sorry. She said, I saw that on the news, what you said you saw. But
Mm.
it was, it was a grayish color. It was gray, not dark gray, but almost dark gray. And it was a flat. It wasn't shiny. It it just I mean, okay, it had these doors. I said doors. I don't know what it was, but it looked like it had a round top. I don't know if you see my finger. Okay,
Yes.
so so it went around the side of the ship that I saw or we saw. It was doing that around a section of it. It looked like doors, but they were round on the top. And it looks as though it was some lights where we were standing. I don't know if they were lights or what it was, but I never talked about it because who would believe me? I just kept that to myself. And then I'm a fast forward. So when I came in the nation, I heard Minister Rowland and the minister talking about these planes. And then I understood why I saw that plane back then. Never, I never understood it. What was that? Why, what was it? Nobody could tell me, but why did I see this object? And so I was at work one day on my place of employment, and this brother that grew up with me, he would come in there all the time. Some from time to time, and he would speak. He was like, he was a Hebrew Israelite, so he would like to talk about scientific things. So I worked at the post office, so he could come in and talk with me. We would chat. And so since I knew he was a little kind of conscious, I said, Carl, I want to share something with you. And I told him, I said, one summer, no, I said, one day, I said, I saw a ship. And it was a long time ago. He said, was it in the summertime? I was like, yes. And he said, was it in the 70s? I said, it was. Now I'm surprised. He said, I saw it too. Now, I grew up with him. We went to the same school. He said, I was on my front porch and it came over and he described the same thing before I could finish talking about it. So I said, finally found somebody. But the teachings, I was thinking, so it was meant for me to see that for whatever the reason was. But to this day, I still look out in the universe, especially at night, because I know what I saw and I want to see it again. I just won't run this time.
Beautiful. All praise due to Allah. And people showing you love all around the world. Thank you, everyone. And Sister Khalis, on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, we want to thank you, ma'am. We thank Allah for your sacrifices and the many sacrifices of your family to help establish Islam here in North America. So we thank you very much for all that you've done, are doing, and continue to do. We have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast, and we're coming right back to our Sister Khalis. Thank you all for every like, share, subscription, for every anonymous Cash App. 1 second. And thank you, Sis Khalis, for just being a nice person to us. 1 second.
Oh, you're welcome. Yes, sir.
And we are live with the People's Podcast. Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Perfect. Now, Sister Khalis, what advice would you give to future mothers?
Future mothers. The first thing I came to my mind is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said to the mothers or whomever he was speaking to, that's for all of us. He said, if you will humble yourself and listen to your children. They're going to tell you something.
Mm.
And they tell you things all the time. Just listen, just humble, just be patient with them. These are people, they have feelings, they're just small people. So I have so much respect for children because they're innocent, it's like they're helpless, harmless. And so we have to be very careful in the words that we speak. Like Sister Dr. Ava said too. She said, words have the power to produce, what was that she said? Words have the power. I'm sorry, I have the book right here. Let me look. So I don't want to paraphrase what she said.
Yes, ma'am.
1 second, it's right here.
Yes, ma'am. Take your time.
She said, every word you speak has power to produce a consequence. It can have a healing effect or a harmful effect, depending upon its quality. So when you say, what advice would I give to mothers? Be so careful in the words that you speak to your children. You can cause, a mother or whomever can cause so much damage, and then protect them from other people that may say the wrong thing to their children. Be on post at all times. We have a duty to Allah, and Allah alone. These children belongs to Him, and He put them in our care. And I'm grateful that He allowed me to be a mother and grandmother. I'm grateful, and I pray that He's pleased with me, because I do try to be careful in what I do and say with the children. And I absolutely love our children. I do.
Beautiful. All praise due to Allah. And Sister Walaikum Salam. People showing you love, ma'am. Can't wait to upload this to YouTube. I wanted to ask you about acting. When did you get the acting bug and decide that you were ready to pursue that?
You know what? As a child, I could say as a child, I wanted to act. I wanted to model, and I like fashion and colors and things of that nature. And I would like to act because it makes me become another person, and see how well I can become this other person. Just, but as I was growing up, I let people discourage me. And that's why I said, be careful what people say to your children. So, but to this day, I was still I want to, and it's a lot of money in it. We got to get a lot of land. So I'd like to do that to get that land. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Yes, ma'am. And Brother Nelson says, teach beloved. Wonderful. Could you let us know what has been the greatest joy in your life?
Wow. My greatest joy is hearing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I have more than one greatest joy, but that one led me to the path of Allah. Him and the messenger and Minister Rowland, Sister Dr. Ava, Brother Jabril, Mother Tynette. I listen to them, and they never make mistakes. It's always exact and correct. And so, I can't help but be overwhelmed, so grateful to Allah for letting me hear that. And I ask Him to always keep my ears, uncover my ears and eyes, and let me always hear and obey. So oh my God. So that's one of the greatest joys. Watching my grandson be born when he came to birth. I saw my children come to birth, but it was with my grandson, it was a little different because I'm in the teachings, and now I'm more wiser. And when he was born, I prayed. I was praying in his ears. He was crying. So when I would say a prayer, he would get quiet. So when I talk again, he stopped crying. And, it was a lot of doctors and everybody in the room. And I was laughing and crying at the same time. So that was another one of the greatest joys. But yes, sir.
Beautiful. Yes, ma'am. Now, Sis Khalis, I often ask a lot of the women and the sisters, and sometimes the husbands who are in the delivery room, because that's something I'm very nervous about. That's throw you off being in there like that. You wasn't nervous seeing the child, and that didn't throw you.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't because especially after I come in the teachings, and even as a mother, it's something that happens to you. I'm not nervous. It's just I mean, you can't believe it. It's like life. Look at this. A person came from a person.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
looking at that like, wow, this is Allah created himself in the womb. And then to be able to touch this person and nurture this is a person that came from me or her. Or so no, no, I was never nervous. Always in there talks, saying my prayers or just waiting and anticipating, can't wait to see this child, who Allah brought here. And right away, you have a duty. It can get um, challenging too. I mean, after having the children, it can become challenging, but just stay on the path. That's it. But so you say you're afraid of that. So one day, so one day you're going to become a father, and you're going to have to be in that room. You
I
won't
got
be
it.
nervous.
So you're saying I can't run away. I gotta be in the room, huh?
You can't run away. And if I'm there, I'm gonna lock the door. Make sure you stay in.
Sis Khalis. Oh my God. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I gotta face it. I gotta face
Yeah,
just
you
the videos
will.
I've seen on movies and television and the screaming. Sis Khalis,
Oh yeah, that pain is unbelievable. And the minister say we die when we give birth. But I believe Allah will give you the strength and the courage to endure it. And then you're going to be glad when you see that baby come. Oh my goodness. I think you'll be happy. You won't be,
yes, ma'am.
you won't be afraid.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have two beds in the room just in case I need to lay down. So you know what I'm saying? Yes, ma'am. And Sister Karima says, "Assalamu alaikum, family. Alaikum salam, Sister Karima. This is
Walaikum salam, sister.
the real estate mogul herself, and who
Oh
always shows
yes,
up.
my sister.
Yes, ma'am. And my
Yes.
sister Naima's laughing. Thank you all very much. I wanted to ask you, ma'am. You've been in the nation for quite some time. What advice would you give to the younger generations about holding on to faith and the value of faith?
Okay. Stay in your study, guys. Stay in your studies. Um, the whispering of the slinking devil is going to come. So that's why you must remain in these studies. Always listen to the minister. Um, get as much of his information and stay on that, and it'll keep your faith. And then Allah says, I choose whom I please, when I please, right? So if he chose them to go into the nation, the ones that he did, I don't want to say if, because they're there, right? So all of us that's in there, he chose us to be there. Just remain steadfast and study. And that's all I mean, continue to pray. The remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. Just do that all the time, and it'll remind you, this is a devil approaching. So he will allow us to know when we're being approached by a devil, and we'll know how to handle that. And that's yeah, we
Beautiful.
have
Yes, ma'am. Okay, and one last question for you, Sister Khalis. First of all, shout out to your family as well. But
yes.
what type of music do you enjoy listening to?
Oh, I love classical music, jazz, R&B. I like rap. I like Kendrick
Mm.
Lamar. I like
Okay.
Travis Scott.
Okay.
Look, don't tell nobody, but I like Cardi Boy. Play.
Playboy Cardi. Okay.
Don't tell nobody. Oh me, but Playboy. I don't like what he's saying, but I do like his talent. He's very talented, and Travis
Yeah.
Scott. They're so talented. Yes,
Yeah.
the beats, the music. It's just in the way they do the word. I mean, they are. So I like that type of rap too. So
Yes, ma'am. And Travis Scott, he does those festivals where it's like concerts and the people are going. And
yeah.
if yes, ma'am, I really want to go to one of them to experience it. I just don't
Yeah.
like being around too many people, but I really want to experience it. But those people
Yeah,
go,
I know, because we're taught not to go in these crowded
yeah.
places like that. But yeah, that would be a wonderful experience, wouldn't it?
Sis Khalis, I don't want you in a mosh pit in Cleveland. Please, I don't want you out there in the crowds, people throwing elbows.
Oh me, no, I won't. I won't go.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
promise I won't.
Yes, ma'am. But I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. May Allah continue to bless you and your family. And once again, you all uh, just you got to visit Cleveland for yourself. You got to visit
Yes.
Cleveland for yourself because I was judging. I was judging. I'm telling you, I was judging through music. I was like, I don't. What's in Cleveland? And when I went to
No.
downtown Cleveland and saw the stadiums, the front,
Hmm.
the the lake or whatever. It was just I
Yeah.
couldn't believe that all of this
So
was
they're
included.
building it up. Yeah. So they're trying to build Cleveland up, and then what Minister Rowland, what he's doing, taking that 20 block area. That's a lot of footage. When you think about that, all these businesses is going to occupy that space. That's going to be phenomenal right there by itself. So then other people are Black people, they're trying to do the same thing. Some of them, but you're right. They're trying to build up that lake and put different things downtown. But we'll have you back. Let us know when you're ready, and
Oh
maybe you could bring some people with
man,
you.
listen, I'm ready. The Superior when I went, that was my first time traveling, so I didn't have the
Okay.
camera yet. I didn't have the camera yet. I'm ordering a microphone, so now we can have the
Oh,
lavalier mic, so that when we're doing the interviews, it could be the sound will be concise. Like
wow.
I'm learning, but Cleveland was my first trip out, and since then
Hmm.
I've been blessed to travel more, and I'm learning each time I travel. I need this, I need that, I need so
Wow.
we can
Yeah.
just make it so professional. So please let Minister Roland know I enjoy him. Shout out to Brother Corey. Shout out to the other sisters who were with you cooking and
Oh,
everything.
yes,
Just
Sister
the whole
Queen.
yes, ma'am. The hospitality was phenomenal. Your sister Khalis, Sister Karima says Sister Khalis is simply amazing.
Oh,
Cleveland is
thank you, Sister Joy.
town. We soldiered in Cleveland. I guess you're saying had a good time. Yes,
Yes, we did.
I
Thanks,
enjoyed
Sister.
Cleveland.
Oh,
I
go ahead.
enjoyed it. No, I was just saying I enjoyed it, and I look forward to going back. But also, Sister Khalis, when you come to Atlanta, let me know.
I
So
am. I'm going to
yes,
let you know. And I won't. I don't want. I don't want to see you in that line, Travis Scott, getting some tickets.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, but
And please,
thank
and
you.
we'll yes, ma'am, and thank your family, and let your son know we're gonna set the interview up, inshallah, so we can make that
Yes, sir.
happen.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank you all for watching. This has brought joy to me today. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, man.
Well, alaikum salam, Brother Joshua.
Thank you all for watching.